Lions are synonymous with the untamed beauty of Africa. When we think of these majestic creatures, we picture golden savannas and roaring prides. But the story of lions is much bigger. Once upon a time, they roamed across 3 continents: Africa, Asia, and even parts of Europe, which has left behind scattered prides that are now under the threat of extinction. Today, 2 main types of lions exist. The African lion dominates the open plains of sub-Saharan Africa, and the Asiatic lion clings to survival in the forests of India's Gir National Park. But hidden in the shadows of history is a third group, one that ruled a unique and challenging landscape: the Berber lion, also called the Atlas lion or the Barbary lion, was a marvel of nature, larger than most African lions. They were built for survival in one of the harshest terrains imaginable. With their thick dark manes extending down to their backs, they stood out as kings in the snowy Atlas Mountains and the sun-scorched deserts of North Africa. Unlike their savanna counterparts, these lions thrived in isolation, hunting in the rugged terrain where prey was scarce and danger was constant. On top of that, what made the Barbary lion so special wasn't just their appearance, but it was also their resilience. They adapted to extreme conditions, developing a robustness that made them symbols of strength and power. But their story is not just one of survival. It's also an example of what happens when the balance between humans and nature is disrupted. Before that, and for centuries, they were always celebrated as legends, appearing on royal crests as signs for bravery. Yet as history marched on, the Barbary lion's majestic reign was threatened. So what caused their downfall? And why have these extraordinary creatures disappeared from the world? To understand the tragic end of the Barbary lion, we must first explore their remarkable legacy and their fateful clash with humanity. But before we dive into the video, don't forget to subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any future videos. For millions of years, lions have roamed across the grasslands, deserts, and mountains of Africa, even stretching into parts of Europe and Asia. But time has been unkind to these mighty cats. Today, lions have disappeared from over 90% of their historical territories. And among these displaced populations lies the most enigmatic of them all, the Barbary lion. Unlike their cousins in the savannas, Barbary lions were at home in the unforgiving terrains of the Atlas Mountains. They stood as kings of a world that had blended frigid winters with scorching deserts. These lions weren't just bigger, they were bolder. Researchers suggest that it was due to their diet, which was mainly composed of the Barbary deer, a bigger subspecies of the deer family, which may have also contributed to why the Barbary lions could achieve up to 3.5 meters long and reaching up to 1 meters at the shoulder and an average of 285 kilograms, making them 1/3 bigger than the African lions we know of today. Without a doubt, the Barbary lions prowled alongside the Barbary people, who saw them as symbols of power and resilience. Legends tell of these lions challenging entire cavemans, becoming figures of fear and admiration. But even in their heyday, their isolation in the Atlas made them vulnerable. This separation would shape their fate and their genetic legacy. Studies reveal something incredible. The Barbary lion wasn't just an African giant, it shared unique ties with the Asiatic lion. Their DNA tells a story of connections across continents, bridging the ecosystems of India with the deserts of North Africa. However, even though the Atlas was their fortress, with human expansion and hunting, even the strongest walls crumbled. The Barbary lion's reign was about to face its greatest threat, which raises the question: what caused these majestic lions and the rules of the Atlas to vanish almost overnight? Before answering the question, let's dig a little deeper into the Barbary lion's origin. In Greek mythology, lions often symbolized power and divine protection. They were larger than most living creatures, often used to test the bravery of their heroes, where it's believed that depictions of lions in Greek art and myths were inspired by encounters with North African lions, which are the Barbary lions. For instance, the Nemean lion, a central figure in Hercules' 12 Labors, has been inspired by the Barbary lion. Its portrayal as a creature with an impenetrable hide aligns with the Barbary lion's reputation for strength and majesty. Similarly, in Roman culture, lions were used as symbols of strength, courage, and authority, often featured in mosaics and statues. Barbary lions were also used in gladiatorial games, where they were brought from North Africa to fight in arenas like the Colosseum. For the Romans, these lions symbolized the empire's dominion over nature itself. Defeating such a creature was seen as the ultimate test of courage or folly. Likewise, in other cultures, Barbary lions were sometimes brought to European courts and menageries as exotic curiosities. Their size and rarity made them highly sought after by rulers looking to display their wealth and power. By the 19th century, the majestic Barbary lions faced their relentless enemy again, humans. The only difference is that the fights are now made in the lions' homes. Hunters saw these lions not only as symbols of strength, but also as trophies. From Barbary tribes to colonial powers, the hunt for the Atlas lion became a relentless pursuit. However, despite all this, things were sort of stable. It only got catastrophic after the arrival of firearms, which had tipped the scales. What was once a fair contest between predator and prey became a massacre. Local tribes, incentivized by colonial powers, were paid handsomely for lion pelts. In return, they were freed from taxes, which was a powerful motivator in a time of hardship. Later, under French rule, the eradication of lions became policy. Hunters like Jules Gerard had become famous, killing hundreds of lions in the span of just a decade. For Gerard and others, the lions were not only as prey, but a challenge to be conquered. A symbol of their dominance over nature and their colonized lands. I mean, what else would you expect from a fellow Frenchman? Therefore, by the end of the 19th century, the once vast population of Barbary lions had become decimated. Their roars, once a deafening sound of the Atlas Mountains, fell silent in Algeria and Tunisia, but some believed hope remained. In 1925, a photograph taken from a plane over Morocco seemed to capture a lone Barbary lion prowling the Atlas. It was hailed as a miraculous survivor, but the exact location was never confirmed. Tragically, it would be the last known visual record of a wild Barbary lion. Where this extinction wasn't just ecological, it was symbolic. The lion that had once ruled the mountains was now reduced to museum specimens and haunting legends. But was the Barbary lion truly gone forever, or did its legacy still linger in unexpected places? As the wild roars of the Barbary lion faded into silence, many believed their story had ended. By the mid-20th century, scientists declared the Atlas lion extinct in the wild, but whispers of their survival began to emerge, leading to new discoveries that reignited hope. In 1937, workers at the Tower of London unearthed 2 lion skulls dating back to over 700 years ago. Analysis revealed they belonged to the extinct Barbary lion. These ancient remains became a haunting reminder of how humans shaped the fate of this species. But back in Morocco, an extraordinary clue emerged. The Sultan of Morocco had maintained a private collection of these lions, known as the Royal Lions of Fez. These regal creatures were said to be descendants of the Barbary lion, kept alive through careful breeding. Today, some descendants of these royal lions are believed to exist in European zoos. Genetic studies suggest that while they may not be pure Barbary lions, they retain significant genetic traits of the extinct subspecies. This discovery has sparked efforts to preserve their lineage, where conservationists dream of one day reintroducing lions with the Barbary traits back in the Atlas Mountains. While the chances are slim, the legacy of the Atlas lion refuses to be forgotten. From gladiatorial arenas to royal enclosures, the Barbary lion story is one of tragedy and resilience. But could humans ever restore what they once destroyed? All in all, the story of the Barbary lion's survival is complicated. For over a century, zoos have labelled certain lions as descendants of the Barbary lion, collected by Moroccan royals to symbolize power of heritage, but as the years went on and breeding programs expanded, the question arose whether these lions are pure Barbers or just hybrids. Modern genetics have helped untangle some of this mystery. Studies revealed that these lions share striking similarities with the Asiatic lions, their cousins, who survived in the Gir forests of India. Their genetics suggest a closer relationship than anyone had imagined, raising an excited possibility. With careful planning, these lions might someday reclaim their place inside the wild. In fact, it's actually called rewilding, a conservation strategy to reintroduce species in their former habitats. For Barbary lions, rewilding represents both hope and controversy. Supporters believe reintroducing them could help restore balance to an ecosystem long missing its apex predator. However, the adversary aren't convinced. They argue that the lions in captivity are hybrids, and rewilding them might disrupt ecosystems more than just restoring them. But still, even if the genetics align, rewilding isn't an easy procedure. It requires enormous planning such as restoring habitats, preparing prey populations, and ensuring these lions can adapt after generations of life within enclosures. Lions worldwide are under threat from habitat loss, human-wildfire conflict, and dwindling genetic diversity. Whether or not these lions ever walk the wild again, their story serves as a reminder of what is at stake, not just the Barbary lion's legacy, but the future of all lions. These lions that once ruled the Atlas Mountains, unmatched in their strength and grace, were the byproduct and direct consequences of human expansion, exploitation, and indifferences. Although the kings of the Atlas may be gone, their story doesn't have to end in silence. Every effort to protect lions today, every push for conservation, is a way of honoring their memory. Thank you for watching, and until the next time in the wild past.